They say that music is food to the soul. Well, I agree 100%. More Than Just a Song is a musical documentary that will bring you music that is truly food to your soul. I am Anise Kabue. Join me as I take you through this musical journey that is set to win your hearts and soul. Welcome. Music has traditionally played an important role in the African culture. It is essential in representing the strong African heritage, and its importance can be seen in many aspects of the culture. Unlike many cultures today, ancient African cultures encompassed music in their everyday lives. Dance, storytelling, and religious practices are all grounded on the music of the culture.
What shall we do? Sinzinjan.
What shall we do?
What shall we do?
What shall we do?
For the African music, our music is almost pure, undisturbed. We've started having this trouble, therefore, leading new terms like the Afro fusion, Afro soul, and so on, when we started engaging with the other part of the world. Of course, this has come as a result of media and the fact that the world has become a global village, so we're able to interact.
Watu wa upendo, hauna dui, hauna kifani
Takabata na savate.
African harmonies and the sound, the volume, there's something beautiful. With or without instruments, there's that a cappella sound. The way we parallelly harmonize our music is very unique. Simple, but it just
Afro music blends contemporary music with the traditional African rhythms to create hybrid musical genres that are a fusion between soul music and African beats. This style of music has infused R&B, jazz, soul, benga, gospel with African traditional beats and rhythms. This has led to the creation of different styles of music.
Siku hizi kuvaa kamini mbele ya kanisa ni njia mpya ya kufupisha kasisi asiendelee na misa. Siku hizi bibi yako kukuzalia mtoto anafanana na jirani ndio jirani mwema.
We owe the success of these musical styles to the pioneers like Miriam Makeba and Olive Mutukudzi.
Afro soul is a combination, the African style of music and the soul. And I say the soul is how the song affects. How well do you sing it out to bring that deep effect, the soul. So the unique characteristics of the African soul will be in terms of the voicing, the singing, the emotional beat, the emotional way in which you render the song.
You toil, you labor, you try to build your life so that someday you can say, come and see what I've done. Oh, but your days of trouble.
what is it that we define as soul? Soul is anything that probably gathers up your passion. But then now, what is it that will make it Afro? If it is from Kericho and you put in Kisi, or from the Luo, La Mother Tongue, and you work Afro, and then probably put in some Luo in there, that's what qualifies. I think people have different names and defines for what they sing. But what I think is still around the African nature. You don't want to lose the Africanness.
Afro poetry, of course, that's the spoken word, organized, but now African. I want to believe it's more inclined with the African way of doing it. If you've studied the history of poetry, you may be able to know where it came from, how it is done. Most of what the kind of poetry we see nowadays is what is done in schools. There is a way that the English poems are recited. There's a way they are set. There's a way Kiswahili poems called mashairi are recited in a given way. So when we talk of Afro poetry, it's just a mix. Mostly I want to believe it is something that touches an African either way of life. So it is brought out through poetry.
Various Kenyan artists have come up in the recent years singing genres of this Afro music. The likes of Harry Kimani, Eric Wainaina, Atemi Ayungu, Helen Tawali, Susanna Owiyo, Naomi Washira, and Sauti Sol, making good music that has put Kenya on the international platforms, winning many awards.
Our music has already been infiltrated with other ideas or other styles from elsewhere. And since this is a reality of life today, we cannot live within where we were. We just go by the fact that we say culture is dynamic. Music forms part of culture. And therefore, we must just accept that our music is changing.
As a guy raised in Nairobi, you turn on any one radio station, you'll hear so many different styles of music, you know, from hip hop through to pop, through to sort of Kenyan traditional styles, so to speak, or styles that are influenced by traditional music. And then, I mean, everything, you influence everything from Stevie Wonder to Joseph Kamaru, you know, all in one place.
In their songs, they tell stories about love, they offer social cultural advice to the society, they praise heroes and heroines who are relevant in this time and age.
Oscar nazo akashinda, huenda kawa wanyama, acheze soka Uingereza, huenda kawa Kenyatta, mwanzilishi wa taifa.
Music is an integral part of the Kenyan culture, not only as a form of entertainment, but as a way of life. The diverse genres of Afro music played in the Kenyan community have influenced the society to what it is now. And as world cultures come into closer contact, they naturally have an influence on one another, hence shaping the society.
The world is becoming a village, in essence, with it's becoming smaller with technology and how people are sort of crossing from one place to the other. So I think it's enriching our culture in terms of that we're still able to maintain who we are as a people, but also bring other elements of life and where we come from and where we live, and especially if you live in the diaspora, I think it's a good way to sort of blend all those elements and present them to people and say, you know, here's a new way of looking at life or appreciating life or music or something like that.
I think we all influence lifestyles in a different way, you know. Some artists, by their persona or by their music or the way they live their lives, will make people dress in a particular way or talk in a particular way, influence even the language that they use, you know. And that's fine. I mean, Geli Agenge, for instance, you know, that's Juakali saying that there's this whole way that we speak which differs from different locales. And so I think we're all influencing, and I won't even say that there's any negative influence. You know, we give you stuff. How you choose to use it depends entirely on you.
Nadhani zinamkumbusha alipokuwa kijana na matumaini sawa.
Afro music is one genre of music that has tried to preserve our Kenyan culture. The music sound of Kenyan beats and rhythms bring both the old and the young from different tribes and races together.
So I will sing, I will sing, I will sing, oh, oh. I will sing, I will sing, I will sing, oh, oh. 'Cause I am an African girl. Well, I know where I'm coming from, and I know who I wanna be. I am an African girl. Well, I know where I'm coming from, and I know who I wanna be.